people in the crypto ecosystem are losing faith in every crypto asset except Bitcoin, and the capital is flowing from the other crypto assets to Bitcoin. The regulators are attacking every crypto exchange, every DeFi exchange, every crypto token, every cryptocurrency except Bitcoin. If you read 10,000 pages of hostile regulatory action, the word that's conspicuously missing is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually the low-risk asset. It's the ethical asset. All this crypto development effort that was taking place on the other cryptos, I think all the developers realized that when the dust settles, the only network that's still going to be around, the low-risk network that is least likely to be stopped by the regulators is Bitcoin.
Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy co-founder and executive chairman, has become one of the few Bitcoin maximalists to publicly embrace Ordinals. In an interview at the Bitcoin 2023 conference in Miami, Saylor expressed his positive view of Ordinals as a development for the Bitcoin network. However, he acknowledged that many early use cases tend to be more speculative and less serious. He explained that the ease of creating fake accounts in cyberspace represents a significant risk, as it allows misinformation to be spread that could lead to conflicts in real life. Saylor suggests how Bitcoin can combat cybersecurity threats. In a recent interview, he reiterated his optimism for Bitcoin's potential as a solution to economic instability. Despite the recent slump in the cryptocurrency market, the co-founder of MicroStrategy remains optimistic about Bitcoin's future. According to Saylor, Bitcoin's digital and scarce nature make it the king commodity in the digital world, ensuring that it will ultimately emerge as the winner in the crypto race. I think the crypto tokens and crypto securities are going to be regulated, perhaps out of existence, he told CNBC on Friday, adding that the token is the one commodity that the SEC is not going to regulate. Bitcoin is the most secure network. It's the most secure asset. Everything else has got a black cloud hanging over it. Therefore, proceeding further in this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button below for more recent updates about crypto market.
And so Bitcoin is secure because it is the most powerful cyber network. Bitcoin has 350 exahash, and that exahash is, in essence, 5 million Bitcoin miners backed by 15 gigawatts of energy, and 15 gigawatts of energy is more energy than the US Navy runs on. And if you wanted to interrupt the network, if you wanted to stop me from sending a message or doing a transaction on the network over the course of 8 hours, you have to come up with 3,000 exahash, and that's going to cost you about 10 years and about $100 billion. And if you want your other cyber networks, if you want all your social media networks, if you want your websites to be resistant to a nation-state attack by bots, you're going to need digital power. And the power of Bitcoin is such that if an AI took over all the computers in the world, if it took over everybody's iPhone, if it took over all the Google computers, all the Amazon computers, all the Microsoft computers, and it turned them all to attack the Bitcoin network, it couldn't stop that message. It might slow it down by 10%. And so you start to see the logic of Satoshi and what real digital power is to be able to stand against a nation-state attack of all the computers that a nation can marshal against you. If you have that kind of cybersecurity, you can actually defend your entire civilization. You can defend your money transfers, your banking network, your news networks, your social media networks against a hostile attack. And right now, you could argue that most of the problems we have in our world are because those social networks are in chaos, right? The massive debate right now is misinformation, and we can't agree on whether or not the person that posted the thing is even a person. Remember the Russian intelligence thing? Is it Russian intelligence? Is it Chinese intelligence? Is it North Korean intelligence? Or is it a real person lives in the real country and nobody knows? So I think people are going to start to become aware, because of the AI threat, that you need cyber power, and there's no shortcut to cyber power. There's no simple trick. Like this idea of Nostr. Nostr was, I'm going to create my own public-private key combination, and I can post the thing I want, and nobody can stop it. Good idea, but the problem is, I can create 1 billion Nostr bots. And so there is no solution to the problem that doesn't include digital power or proof of work, which is the basis of the Bitcoin network. If you're not converting gigawatts of electricity into exahash, you don't have power. If you don't have power, it's like you have no Navy, you have no Air Force. You're getting bombed back to the Stone Age, and it's inevitable. And so any nation state that wishes to maintain its sovereignty in the 21st century is going to have to be able to control its cyberspace. And Bitcoin is the key to that because it is the most powerful and perhaps the only truly secure cyber network in the world right now.
Saylor believes that Ordinals will improve Bitcoin adoption by encouraging app development. Saylor argued that discouraging such development could hinder Bitcoin adoption and negatively impact its mining network. If you were to basically discourage app development, it would make it harder to scale to 8 billion people, and you would also be destroying the Bitcoin mining network, he said. Saylor has embraced Ordinals as a positive development on the Bitcoin network, although he said many of the early use cases aren't terribly serious and veer towards being more speculative. Although the space is going through growing pains, Saylor says there are still plenty of bullish factors for Bitcoin. Nearly all of the bad leverage has been squeezed out. Everyone in the business of shorting Bitcoin, rehypothecating Bitcoin, loaning Bitcoin, they've all gone bankrupt. The remaining exchanges where you can short it are under a massive amount of regulatory pressure, Saylor told the outlet. Saylor expressed confidence in Bitcoin's current state, stating, "I think Bitcoin's found the bottom. I think the leverage is out of it. I think we're on a bull run." In Saylor's view, Bitcoin's categorization distinguishes it from other crypto assets, which he believes are under threat from legislation. According to Saylor, the continued governmental scrutiny of competing cryptocurrencies may drive more cash towards Bitcoin.
I think the most important thing is to understand that a Bitcoin miner is a digital power center. And so what you're talking about is eliminating the digital power industry from your own country. And when they think about it a bit, they'll realize that then that goes to a country that they like less than the U.S. And you wouldn't, you wouldn't want all your aircraft and all your ships to move to the countries that you don't like. So I don't think it'll happen. Obviously, I think it's no more intelligent than driving the data center business or the electricity business out of the U.S., right? They're both not good ideas. Occasionally, things like this get floated. Mostly, they're guerrilla marketing activities by not-in-kind competitors. Someone else that is threatened by Bitcoin wants to weaponize the political process or the tax process to undermine a competitor. And they insert that in a friendly politician's ear. I think all the developers realize that when the dust settles, the only network that's still going to be around, the low-risk network that is least likely to be stopped by the regulators is Bitcoin. So if you're going to build on something, you want to build on a network that is the most secure politically and the most secure technically. If you're going to run on gas, if the gas is an unregistered securities, it's securities fraud. Okay, it's illegal. It's unethical. You're going to jail. Okay, so using gas that's a token that's deemed an unregistered security is an ethical lapse. So what you see here with ordinals and inscriptions is you see intelligent developers saying, who's the winner? Bitcoin. What's the ethical network? Bitcoin. Which one is least likely to get me shut down? Bitcoin. Which one is technically most sound? Bitcoin. So what did I do? I did all these other things. Well, can I do them on Bitcoin? Sure, I can. And if I'm doing them on Bitcoin, then I have a reasonable chance of commercial success, right? Like if you burn a monkey JPEG and you burn it on an unregistered security and you're wash trading the unregistered security, okay, it's unethical and it's also stupid. If you burn it on Bitcoin, it just may be stupid, but it's not unethical or illegal. So I'm not here to endorse ordinals or any particular, I'm not a crypto dick butt person. Like I'm not gonna support, or promote that sort of thing. However, the bigger idea is what if I could burn a hash, attach it to a Satoshi? Or what if I could inscribe any piece of rare data and I could put it onto the blockchain forever? Well, there are certain types of messages that I would want to send where no one could stop them. If I needed to get a message from point A to point B in the middle of a war, and I was being denial of service attacked, and I wanted a network that could actually overcome a nation state attempting to stop me from sending the message, Bitcoin is the way to send the message.
Whether the protocol will ultimately emerge as the driving force behind Bitcoin's broader adoption remains to be seen, but it is clear that further innovations and shifts in perspective will continue to shape the future of the cryptocurrency sector. If the Bitcoin price reaches a close above the $31,000 resistance area, it will invalidate this bearish forecast and could cause a pump to $42,000. By combining the power of cryptography with the power of a decentralized cryptographic network like Bitcoin, I can bring costs and consequences to cyberspace, he concluded. Do you agree with Michael Saylor's perspective about Bitcoin performance and future? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you found this information helpful, then like this video and subscribe to our channel. We will bring you more updates in the future.